How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. 0.09 Bitcoin, 0.1 Bitcoin. It's a big deal. If you have that, great. If you don't have it, try to get there because it is significant. I want to go through why that number sticks out in my mind right now, and also go through a couple of changes that have happened recently with Bitcoin, because there's been a lot that's changed this week. If you don't catch everything, you might not understand what kind of position we're in as Bitcoin holders moving forward. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this. If you want to trade crypto, there's a link underneath the video to CoinW. You can leverage trade there. Make sure you understand what you're doing. You can also copy trade, and when you sign up using the link underneath the video, once you start depositing, you get matches on what you deposit. So if you put in, I believe if you put in $20, they're going to match you $10. They're gonna give you free money. There's this event as well with that same link, where if you trade, let's say $500,000 worth of volume, which could just be $3,000 times 100x leverage, two of those trades, which I'm not saying to go 100x, but just showing you that's how the trading volume works, you can get 30 USDT. So you can get all the way up to 3,000 USDT when you just trade on the platform, and you get exclusive access to a trading group with professional traders. So definitely check out those links underneath the video for more details, and you can just start by just trading on the platform, right? The other stuff will come. You don't have to necessarily understand all the deposits in and outs, but let's also talk about this for a second. We have one spot left in the beginner tier for the Patreon. Let me just reload this. We have one spot remaining in the beginner tier for the Patreon. If you want to join this, yeah, the last spot's open. After that, we're going to have a little bit of time, reevaluate either raising this up or doing one more push at the $25 level, getting a new group of people in, or if you want to join the premium tier, we just had someone request a specific video and Joe filmed it just in the last day. So definitely check this out underneath the video if you want to get serious about your crypto investing for the bull run. Now, I thought this was really interesting. Before we get into 0.09 Bitcoin, just let's set the stage here. This is the World Economic Forum in Davos, and this is like old world banking business giants. I've heard now that it's half full. It's kind of embarrassing. It shows what the world used to be turning towards, ESG movements, DEI, all this kind of stuff, and now it's kind of a wasteland. Like, a lot of people don't even go anymore. A lot of the business leaders don't go. Let me play this for you, though, and it's kind of giving an idea for where we are right now.
He's now returned. This is the greatest comeback in political history of a politician. And then, therefore, he thinks he can do anything.
We need to also factor in not only who's won, which is Trump, but who's lost, which is to say us.
Okay. They said that they've lost, and he specifically talks about like Europe, European Union, old money essentially, and the people that won't change, looking for the future. And that's so interesting. I feel like this does resonate with a lot of Bitcoiners too. Like, old bankers and the people they were trying to oppress and trying to control financial freedom are kind of getting the bad end of the stick right now, right? The US is embracing crypto, embracing Bitcoin, embracing new ideas, embracing business. And that kind of shows where we are, that Davos is like the World Economic Forum. People are saying we have lost. We should have turned in the right direction. We should have taken the right color pill. Apparently, Elon Musk is exploring blockchain use in US government efficiency push. Not sure exactly what that's about, what he's looking at, but kind of interesting. Another $518 million worth of Bitcoin was bought by the ETFs yesterday. $518 million in a day. And yeah, we've had 7 consecutive net inflow days, ranging from 1.1 billion to 200 million. So yeah, a lot of Bitcoin being bought off the market. People see the way that we're going, the way that the world's going. And look at what Trump did first week. He freed Ross Ulbricht. So big sticking point for a lot of people in the crypto community. They wanted him to free him day one, and he did. He repealed SAB 121, which is allowing banks now to custody crypto and Bitcoin. He established a committee to look at creating a digital crypto asset stockpile. He's ending Operation Choke Point. They signed something that said that there's not going to be any CBDC. He basically forced Gary Gensler out, put in someone that's pro-crypto, and creating a committee to provide regulation, useful regulation for the crypto industry, and create a digital asset subcommittee chaired by Lemus. Okay, so a lot has changed in 1 week, yet the price of Bitcoin isn't doing much, right? It's just kind of staying stagnant, 105,000. You can see smaller and smaller candles here. I think this has some people thinking, why aren't we going up further? Just remember, we're up 160% in the last 1 year. We have gone up a lot. And the fact is, sometimes you just have to wait a little while, right? The markets in general are a little bit tentative. We have a lot of data coming out this coming week, which we talked about yesterday. But we have the Fed rate decision. We have, is it GDP? And then PCE as well. There's a lot going on this next week. And we have a lot of company earnings coming up here soon. So I wouldn't be worried. I think we're in a great place, which brings me to why I bring up 0.09 Bitcoin or 0.1 Bitcoin. What is the significance of this? And to be clear, this can be a bit arbitrary, right? Maybe you buy 0.09 Bitcoin for breakfast. maybe you will never be able to get to 0.09 Bitcoin because you don't make enough. I bring this up because it's kind of an important level right now, psychologically. 0.09 Bitcoin, or 0.095, I should say, at $105,000 is $10,000 worth of Bitcoin. Now, why is this important? Well, this is a key psychological goal. And when you think about it, like $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, how many people have $10,000 worth of Bitcoin? It's actually a very small group of people. The wallets, you can look at Bitcoin wallets and how much is held in these different wallets. And from 0.1 Bitcoin and up, only about 4.4 million wallets have this amount of Bitcoin. Keep in mind, too, a lot of people have multiple wallets and might have 0.1 Bitcoin in like 5-10 different wallets. They might have 10 Bitcoin in 5-10 different wallets. But you can see here that there are only about 4.2, 4.3. Let's just call it 5 million people that own that amount of Bitcoin, 0.1 Bitcoin. That's only about 0.06% of people on Earth own that amount of Bitcoin. And that's being generous. Okay. So 1 out of every 2,000 people holds this amount of Bitcoin. As time goes on, it's going to be much harder to get your hands on this amount of Bitcoin. Compare that to cash, though. How many people have $10,000 worth of cash? Or $10,000 worth of some equity, or $10,000 worth of ownership in their home, equity in their home? There are a lot of people that have some kind of fiat version of $10,000 or some asset that's worth $10,000, but not many people that have that in Bitcoin. So it's kind of rare, right? Like, again, if you own 0.1 Bitcoin, you're in a rarefied space, and as time goes on, it's become much more difficult to get your hands on that much Bitcoin. I mean, think about it. A year ago, BTC price, like I said, Bitcoin's up 162% over the last year. A year ago, you could have bought 0.1 Bitcoin for $4,000. Okay. I mean, I worked at a bank at one point, and I actually did really well throughout the year, performed really well, and I got like a $3,000 bonus. And this is at a job where I did not get paid that well. I realize that that's a bit... that depends on your situation too, like what you consider getting paid well. But I got paid $40,000 a year, maybe $45,000, but I got a $3,000 bonus. I could have bought almost 0.1 Bitcoin then, and that was someone that didn't make much money. Now, 0.1 Bitcoin is becoming much harder, right? 0.1 Bitcoin, $10,500. That's the price of a used car. Most people don't have this amount saved in an emergency fund, let alone putting into an asset that maybe they don't fully understand, or that's a little bit speculative, they think, or that's very volatile. So it's very difficult, and it's getting more difficult as time goes on. There are a lot of price targets for this bull run, 250,000, 500,000 per Bitcoin, especially if nation states start buying. Well, that makes it very difficult to buy Bitcoin. I mean, I just looked at it yesterday, and the median age of people watching these videos is 35 to 44. The median 401k balance, or the median retirement accounts of someone 35 in the US is about $45,000. So think about that. If Plan B is right, let's say we get up to $450,000, $500,000 Bitcoin. which is bullish. It's very bullish. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, we get there. You're talking about someone putting in their entire retirement portfolio in Bitcoin just to buy 0.1 Bitcoin. Now you can do that for $10,000. It gets exponentially harder over time. And I've made this video back when it was 0.21 Bitcoin. 0.21 Bitcoin was the goal because Bitcoin was a little bit under 50,000 at that point. So you wanted $10,000 worth of Bitcoin then. And then it became 0.17. And now it's 0.09 or 0.1, depending on the price that day. But it's becoming much more difficult as time goes on. So hopefully you've been able to get to 0.1 Bitcoin. If you're way past it, great. Pat yourself on the back. Go for the next goal, right? If you're at 0.9, try to get to 1. If you're at 9, try to get to 10, right? It's a little bit arbitrary, but I think you want to set goals. Just like if you go to the gym, right? It's no good just to say, well, I can bench way more than that kid right there, so I'm good. I don't need to weightlift anymore. No, it's relative to you and your situation, right? Maybe you've been lifting longer. Maybe you have, better genetics. Maybe you've been in the gym more. So you set different goals for yourself. And, if you bench 220 pounds and then you finally get up to 225, you get 2 45-pound weights on either side. Are you really that much stronger? No, maybe just a fraction stronger. But it's a big psychological goal. It maybe helps you mentally to realize that you get 225, right? It's kind of cool. Just like getting maybe 1 Bitcoin or 2 Bitcoin, right? 2 Bitcoin's great. Maybe you can take profits on 1 over time, and you take lifestyle chips out, and then you always hold 1, and you pass down 1 to your kid or something like that. Maybe you have 0.1, and your next goal is 0.25, because then you have more than all the millionaires on earth can ever buy. So it's kind of interesting. Of course, there will be volatility too. We could see big booms in price. We could see drops in price too. So yeah, do your own due diligence. If you want to trade, if you want to try to, put a little bit of your portfolio in a speculative trade, you can check out CoinW underneath the video. There are links to other exchanges too, but I do this with part of my portfolio and I've had really good returns. You have to know what you're doing because it is very volatile. Crypto is already volatile, but trading can be extra volatile. That's how you can get like a 280% return in a very short period of time. I think this is in the last few weeks. I was able to get a 280% return on this Sol trade. Let me know your thoughts though underneath the video. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the Patreon as well. There's 1 spot left in that lower tier. If you want to join the higher tier, that's great. Otherwise, if you're already too late, you can just wait. We're going to open up more spots. We just don't know if we're going to have to increase the price or not. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. We have an exclusive video going out later today too, like how Joe, who's been in the market for over 10 years buying crypto, how he would allocate and DCA $100 a week into crypto based on different risk profiles. So definitely check that out. If you want to join the Patreon, you can see that video. Thank you so much. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.